Hi everyone, it's Sasha here. So I am here to talk about some books that I've been recently reading. Uh, just to let you know, my neighbors are upstairs moving around a lot, and so they might come through, so you might hear that. But also, if you want to support this podcast and me, there will be links below to direct you on how to do all of that fun stuff and to keep this channel and this podcast going and supporting me and my fur babies while we are going through some very difficult times right now. So, I do want to talk about what I have been reading lately. And this is a big deal for me because my daddy passed away late last month, and I have not been really doing well. I actually took a few days off from reading. And every time I tell people that, I was like, yeah, I took 3 days off reading, and every time I tell people that, they immediately know I have been fully distraught. Like there's so little on this earth that keeps me from reading at least a snippet of something. So yeah, yeah, like when I don't read for like 3 days in a row, I'm not doing okay. And I wasn't. And I'm still not, but I am trying to process things a little better. And I am trying to just reach out to my family more, to read books that will kind of bring me some comfort. Um, Strangely enough, I did read a book that was about a father passing before my daddy left us, and it did help me. And also, we knew that he was sick. He had cancer, and he lost his battle with cancer. And so, just because doesn't mean that it makes it easier. But in one of the books that I read, it did let me know that, like, my emotions about it are valid, and that I don't have to be okay. It is okay not to be okay with the passing of a parent. And yeah, so my reading habits have kind of changed a little, not a huge lot, but I've been wanting to read, like, a lot of comic books lately. And so yeah, I have read like a few regular books that aren't like comic books. Uh, but I went to the library and I checked out a bunch of uh, manga and comic books because I don't know. It just that's apparently how I grieve. Uh, like, weird thing about me is I lost my mom before I was even 1 year old, and so I, my family didn't really allow me to grieve the way that I needed to once I got it into olderness when I got older, and I understood the concept that my mother was no longer with us. And so it did make things hard. So, and with the passing of my grandmother, I was in a really bad relationship where they did not allow me to grieve properly. And so this is my first time really grieving the way that I need to, and the way that I feel fit, that will be a healing process along with a dedication to my loved one that I have lost. And a lot of that is through art. I've been painting a lot. I have been writing a bunch of poetry. And I have been reading a lot of comic books. And also been reading, weirdly enough, a lot of thrillers. Well, I say a lot, but I have like dipped my toe into a genre that I normally don't focus on. Now I can tell you right now, my daddy, he was not a big reader. He wouldn't mind listening to me talk about books, but he himself was not a reader. He was a movie watcher, and I am also a movie watcher, and so just talking to him about like books that I have read that have been turned into movies, and then talking about movies that we have watched. That was really like special, and I can genuinely say right now I haven't really been able to watch any kind of movie, um, because it's like every time I try to even remotely entertain the idea, I just think about the fact that I can't go and like call my daddy and tell him about this like crazy or stupid or funny movie that I saw. Um, so I've been mostly just watching YouTube if I do watch anything, and but I've also just been mostly reading. Sorry about that. My doggo is upset that people exist outside. But I have been mostly going to the library and reading and all that good stuff. I My job doesn't offer bereavement leave, which is insane to me, but welcome to America where they don't give a damn about you or your feelings just as long as you work and work and work until the very last moments of your breath. So, I decided to take time for me, and this is a very financially stressful time and a very confusing, sad time, but also I am able to finally do stuff like this podcast, because I now just have time, and I enjoy doing things like this, and hopefully that with all this that it can lead to something amazing and special, and finding other book lovers and letting people know that they're not alone, building a community of people that use books as outlets for the craziness in our lives. And yeah, so the book that kind of prepared me for my dad's passing, it, it's called Buttercream Bump Off. It's by Jean Mc, Mc, McKinley. I probably am butchering that name. But I listened to the audio version of it. I do need to find out who the actor, voice actor, the narrator. I mean, same difference, right? I do need to find out who the narrator was. But Buttercream Bump Off is book two in a series that I started. It's called the Cupcake Bakery Mystery Series. I read Sprinkle with Murder back in, let me see here, last year. I read it last year, and it kept me going because of the drama, and that drama leaked into the second book. And it's like the murders are pretty okay. The mystery itself is pretty decent, but it is the drama. Like if you really like, because there's like um in the second one there's like celebrity romance. There's of course murder, murder. Of course murder. And then like with the first one, I feel like I'm gonna give away some spoilers with book one, so probably skip ahead a little bit if you don't want to hear about that. But uh, the with Sprinkle with Murder, like the drama was at 100 because this dude's girlfriend died. The owner of the bakery that everything takes place at, she has two best friends, this guy and this lady, and her two best friends clearly have like, well, her the lady best friend has a thing for the man best friend, and they have at one point they did like have sexual encounters with each other, but um he just kind of was like, this is a one time thing, and like, and she kind of was distraught about that because she wanted it to lead to something else. uh and what is crazy is that this book talks about the man's best friend's girlfriend. I wish I remembered names. It is so rare if I remember names of characters. I remember the whole fucking story, but and if I remember your name, you were memorable. You stood out. But anyway, so the male best friend, his girlfriend got murdered, and everybody it was is trying to figure out who did it because they're now trying to blame our main character because a police officer saw how upset she was about the wedding plans that they were trying to make. And the thing is, uh, the the male best friend, he got tricked into like proposing to his girlfriend. Like she drugged him, and like she asked him, and he said yes. And then next thing he knows, he's at the jewelry store and they're picking out like engagement rings. And so yeah, like it's real fucking crazy. And the second one is just as fucking crazy. It's not like to that extent, but and then it brings back other characters that was from book one as well, which is very interesting. And they bring them back in like I would say in very creative ways. Not bad. It's just that usually when Arthur brings in a character from a previous book, they kind of go out their way of having to do it. But this one, it just seemed very fluid, and I liked that. But yeah, Buttercream Bump Off is about the main character's mom goes on a date. Her date winds up dying. Her mom is being accused of doing the crime, and so they have to solve it. Very stereotypical cozy mystery. It's like somebody near me is in trouble and I have to be the detective in order to say their name because the detective is zoning in on the wrong person. I know it's the wrong person because they're my family or they're my friends or it's me. Just the typical cozy mystery. And I liked it. It was good. I really love culinary mysteries. I will say that. I am a sucker for a culinary mystery. I'm also a sucker for a culinary romance. If it's got food in it, honestly, I'm down. Like I love getting ideas from food from books. And this series is so full of it. Like you get so many like fun cupcake ideas. There are a few like non-cupcake, non-dessert ideas that you can pull away from the book because they do, eat like regular meals. Uh-uh. There we go. But yeah, it's a really good book to get some ideas for like cupcakes and stuff. The next book in the series is Death by the Dozen, and I'm probably going to listen. This is going to be one of the first cozy mystery series that I read in order. Well, at least the first in a long time. I don't know why, but I love jumping around a cozy mystery series. There seems to be 16 books in this series, and I have no idea why. I love to just jump around in a series, at least with a cozy mystery series. I remember there was like one. Now it was by I started this by accident, but I realized how fun it is. Like, cause it was just simply an accident of I got the wrong book. I thought it was the first one. It was like number 4 in the series, and then listen to it. It didn't. There was some context there was very little context that was needed from the other books that would have made the story make sense, because they kind of reintroduce you to all the characters and the issues that have been in the past, and like the previous murders that they've solved and stuff like that. Like most cozy mysteries are standalones, um because the authors are aware that you might start this series at a random point. But jumping around them, like going from book 4 to book 2, then going to book 6, and then going to book 1. I don't know. It's fun to me because it's like you get to see, like, oh, this has already happened. Well, what led up to this? Like the series that I jumped around the most with it. I started with a book where she was married. Like she was married to this dude, and the books that led up to it were basically their relationship of they met each other book 1, they're dating in book 2. This is over a course of a few years, but and they get engaged in book 3, they're married in book 4, and they're still married book 5, book 6. But just jumping around in that of like, oh, this happened, oh, this happened, oh, whoa, really, they like it was just really fun for me. Another one that I have read um is Scooby Doo, Where Are You? This is a series that started in 2010. It's a comic book series that started in 2010, and I read book 130. And this one was quite interesting in the sense that um, you could get a feel that this. How do I explain it? They were trying to deviate from the norm because they're 130 in. And, you know, even with a mystery solving gang, you can only tell the story. You can only switch it up so much. And so this one, they did it in a really fun way of how they made the bad person uh stand out from other characters, cuz I am a huge Scooby Doo fan. I love almost any series except for Velma. I watched it too. I was like, you know what? I'm a fan of Scooby Doo. I'm not finna listen to the haters, because the last time that I listened to the haters that were like on the internet, I it took me forever to watch Be Cool Scooby Doo because so many people were talking bad about the animation and stuff like that. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just watch it for myself. Girl, I watched Velma and I immediately turned this shit off when it got to that weird joke. And I was like, oh, nope. Immediately turned this shit off. And I was like, never mind. I'm gonna go to something else. But I will say that my favorite, if you just want to know, my favorite Scooby Doo series, and I know the OGs are really good. I love watching the originals. But the series that I love the most is Be Cool, Scooby Doo. Like, the animation is so bad. It's so hideous. But it's so fucking funny. It's hilarious. I love that series so much. And it is a work of fucking love. Like, it just. I will always rant about Be Cool Scooby Doo. But it is a passion project by fans. Because when I tell you that it goes back and closes loopholes to movies, specific episodes, um, like it's insane. It makes homages to the past in such a modern day way. It it brings in old information that you forgot about because it was a part of the original fucking series, and it brings it in up again in a new light, but in a really funny way because you're like, oh my goodness, yeah, that is supposed to be how this is. It's so fucking good. It's such a good series. And I love Velma specifically in that series. Like, she's scared of water. It's so fucking dumb. Like, it's so fucking funny and dumb, but like, she is terrified of water. And she don't, it don't matter what kind of status it is. She says it too, just like this. She said, solid, liquid, gas. Like, water is my enemy. It's so fucking funny. But so I also decided to, during this crazy time in my life, I decided to re-pick up or rejoin the book club at my local library, and I decided to read the book for August because I missed the one that was for July. So yeah, I picked it up, and it's called Meet Me at the Museum. When I tell you, this story is so fucking good. Like, I can't. My ass. So I decided to listen to the audiobook while I read along with the physical book. And oh my goodness. I had to stop with the physical copy because I didn't want to get it dirty, because I had opened up a bag of chips, and I was like sitting there like chewing chips at how messy this fucking book got. Like, you know how you sit in front of the TV and you just like, oh my god, this shit that got good. And so you just start shoveling popcorn or chips or pretzels into your fucking mouth. I was like that. I was dead ass like that. I was sitting there listening to this book, just shoveling chips down my fucking face. I'm like, oh my god, what is next? What is next? Ain't no way. The drama, like, it goes from this super awkward ass situation to like a very sweet to like, okay, what's going on here kind of situation. And then it just flips the fucking script on you and turns into this fucking messy ass, like, I don't watch reality TV, uh but I don't know, is it something that would happen on like Love Island, where it's like, because I don't know the concept of the show. I really don't. I'm trying to even think of like a show where I could compare that I know enough about it to, because the situation is, yeah, I get, because Love Island is like, they're not dating, right? Like, yes, no, I don't fucking know. That's that's a problem. But anyway, this was my Love Island. Fuck it. I don't. It's just like, this was my Love Island. Like, I was sitting there fucking shoveling chips down my throat, being like, the drama has kicked up to 1,000. And it's like, I know that one of the things from Love Island is like the bombshell in the villa. Girl, this wasn't even like a bombshell. It was like a motherfucking cardboard box in the at some point, I was sitting there rooting for old girl, the one of the main characters, because there's two main characters. There's this man, that he lives in Denmark, and this woman who lives in England. I want to say that's correct, but anyway, so they're writing back and forth, and they're just it's like I said, it's awkward in the beginning because she's writing to an entirely different person, and that person winds up being dead, and so the person just responds back, and it really, oh my god, it's such a, and then you learn so much about the Tullen man, which is this the peat bog people. I this, so I had to, before I started reading this, I had to fucking look up what the Tullen man was. And so he is a man from hundreds of years ago that was found preserved in a bog. And he was so preserved that they thought that he was like a recent like victim. And after testing and stuff like that, they found out like, oh, this body is super old. And apparently there is another body that was found like not that far away from that particular body in the same bog, and it really makes me want to read like a whole nother book that's called The Bog People. I which talks about like the lives and stuff of the people that live near the bogs and the bodies that they find in it, because uh during, I want to say this is during the Copper or the Bronze Age is when the body was originally put into the bog. And so think about how long that body has been there, and it is still perfectly preserved. Like, that's crazy. One, two, uh he was killed as they believe he was, excuse me, they believe he was killed as a sacrifice. But they also think that he may have been killed as a sacrifice because he was just a bad person. Um, because apparently back then they burned all the bodies, like they did what we would call modern day cremation with all of their bodies, because they believed that that was a way to let the spirit go into the wild yonder. And he they didn't do that to this man. They said your soul need to stay where the fuck it is. So they think that he did something like super fucking bad because they also found a noose around his neck when they like pulled him out. So not great. Like whatever he did, it was like basically unforgivable, and they didn't even want this motherfucker's soul to be out wandering. But it, and you would think they're like the Tullen Man, which is kind of how this story evolved. What the story evolves around. The body is in a museum. Whether you agree with that or not, different conversation. Like I personally don't believe that we should be putting human remains on display. Now, in the book, it does explain that it's a copy. I believe that it's a replica of the body and it's not the actual physical body. If that is so, then that's better than having the actual physical body there. That's mad disrespectful. But it's these two people that are just writing back and forth with each other. They do like handwritten letters and stuff, and it's just, I'm not selling this how I want to, but it just leaves me speechless of how beautiful and drama filled this book is. I don't know why I've been like really into like books that's got a lot of drama in it. Um and when I tell you I was on old girl side, Tina is the main character. Um is one of the main characters. Uh and Anders Anders is Danish. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I only know the names because it's in the little preview. But Tina, I was on homegirl side. That's all I gotta say. I was on homegirl side. Like what she did, how she did it, I was on her side. The next book that I finished is called 10. It's by Gretchen McNeil. Now, this is a thriller book that it's a slasher actually, which this is like I'm trying to think. I've read a lot of books that have like murder, but I don't know if they would be considered slashers like this one. Like this one is a legit slasher. Like if this was turned into a movie, it would be a slasher horror film. And I would say this bitch was pretty good. This bitch was pretty good. Now on the thing, it did talk about the trigger warning database. It did talk about ableism and racism. It did leave out the homophobia, but I will say this: when I read those warnings, I was like, ugh. Ugh. All right, I'm still gonna read it because I'm gonna read it, but but they nipped that shit in the bud. Like when the dude was being racist, he got called out for it. When he was being homophobic, he got called out for it, and it was immediate. It wasn't like no hesitation. It was immediately this motherfucker got called out on his bullshit. So I do give the motherfucking Arthur applause for that. That like, and the main love interest in this was a black person. It was a black man, and so I don't know. This is my first time reading a book by this author, but I will say I was impressed. I was impressed. Um, I also realized that when it comes to like horror, murder, thrillers, anything like that, I would prefer to read something that was written by a woman. Because unfortunately, a lot of men love to add in sexual assault scenes that are so unnecessary in books and in movies. And it's like they always run to that defense of like, well, it builds character. No, the fuck it doesn't. No, the fuck it does not need to be there. You can be strong, independent, without that shit happening to you. I promise. And that's always that's another thing why I kind of steer clear away from like thrillers and stuff like that because they do usually typically have like sexual assault, and unfortunately the scenes can be pretty graphic from what I've heard and what I've been told. And so like if I know that of course women can also write about this, but it would be done in a I feel like it would be done in a more respectful manner than what a lot of male writers do. um and that's just personal. And I mean, honestly, it's also personal that it's like I done got to the point in my life where I'd rather read like if it's a spicy book, I'd rather read it that's written by a woman because like, oh my god, having a man try to describe these things, oh my god, it's so annoying. It's none of it is none of it. what is crazy is like there are so many like spicy reads that I've read. It's spicy. I am doing the air quotes around, like I'm doing the air quotes as I'm talking. But anyway, with spicy books, I have read so many of them, and mostly when I was younger because it was like, that's just what you do. Like, I didn't watch my spiciness is because I really didn't have like the internet growing up. Like the internet existed. It's just that we were poor, and so I just didn't really have access to the internet to watch. So I read. I read my spice, and I read a lot of it. And like some of it, I actually, as an adult, I went back and I read it, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is awful. This is like, uh, it's not even written bad. It's just like these are pedophiles. Like these are people. These are most of the people that are in these books are now victims, and it's disgusting. And growing up, I can genuinely say, unfortunately, consent is one of those things that you have to teach it. You have to be told and be aware of it, because if you are not told and told and and taught about it, then it creates issues. And so, when I finally got to like college age and understand, which I can genuinely say I feel horrible about, that it really took me to like college age to understand the concept of fucking consent with my own body and with other people's bodies. Uh, like people yell at you when you do something wrong, but they never really tell you anything. And it's like yelling at someone is like, okay, well, what I did was wrong, but you're not telling me why it's wrong. And I know that some people's like, well, you don't need a why. You just need to be told that it's wrong. Not some things you have to explain to people why it is wrong. Just yelling at somebody about something isn't gonna fix the fucking issue. like, yeah. Anyway, that's a rant for a different day. But I will say that I hate that. I hate that I wasn't told about that, and therefore I consumed a lot of really horrible ass book love scenes, if you can call them that at this point. Um, and it was, yeah, like reading them now as I'm grown and I understand things better, life better, consent is just like these are not good. These are not good at all. These are the Arthur needs to be put on a watch list if I'm not, if if I want to be so for real. um so yeah, it's spicy books, thrillers. I just feel like as I get older, my taste shifts more toward consuming things written and produced uh, by queer people, by women, specifically black women or women of color, more than I do anything else now. When it comes to the kind of media that I consume, uh, weirdly enough, it I'm trying to get that same way when it comes to my YouTube videos. Because like looking at it, like I mostly watch white male gaming videos, and I do now, because I had to address that with myself. I do now openly and actively look for black women content creators. I found a ton of black women that do amazing content for The Sims. I am a Sims player. I do have like different packs and stuff for The Sims. I don't have the fairy one. I really wish I did, but money is tight around this bitch. So eventually I will I know that I could probably say that I made it once I have purchased all of the Sims packs and the extensions and stuff. And also, I have like a gaming computer that I can run it smoothly on. I personally realized that I like with the Sims. I know we're deviating, just, ADHD here. Uh, when I play The Sims, I usually make an Arthur character. Like, they're usually an Arthur or a cook. And my favorite part about the game is actually building the characters. I thought that I was gonna be like a construction person. Like when I was looking at the game and I was looking at other people playing it and stuff before I actually put real money into the game, because Sims 4 is free. It's just all the add-ons you have to pay for if you just didn't know. But when I was before I put real money into it, I watched all this stuff and I was just like, oh, I'm not gonna be into like making characters. It's called casting. When they like within the Sims vocabulary world, uh, I was like, I'm not gonna be in a cast. I'm gonna be in a building, houses, and all these. Girl, I'm a cast girly. Oh my god, I love creating like full fucking backstories with a person. Fuck them houses. I would just download a house. Like fuck them houses. Oh my goodness, like. I love making like characters in their lives and putting stories to it and everything, and then putting them in a home. Like, and I've tried to build a house. I know that I just have to like keep doing it to get better at it. But girl, let's be for real. Let's be for real. I'm, I, the, the houses for me ain't it. I would rather go and just buy like a house off the gallery and put my characters in there. But I love making characters. I absolutely love making my writers and my cooks, or like having cooks married to writers. It's fascinating. Like but anyways, so the last book that I have recently read is called Amani at the Beach Hair Magic. Oh my goodness. I would say this is definitely a kid's book. This is not even like a middle grade book. This is definitely a kid's book. And oh my god, it's so freaking cute. It's so cute. Like, and I learned about this amazing person that was an opera singer turned environmental activist. Like, it gives you so much all in one little book package. Like, it uplifts you. It gives you like, a reason for fucking living. Like, I know I'm putting a lot on a child's book, but no, like what I'm saying is like it's so heartwarming and uplifting. It it really does. It really did help me when I was already at a low point. Like I was having a really really bad day yesterday, and like it was my day was slightly getting a little bit more frustrating because I had I was getting overwhelmed with books, and I had gotten uh a bunch of my holes had came in, and off the Libby app, and I already have my maximum book checkout. So I was like, oh my goodness, I have to like read something, return something, a whole bunch of stuff in order to like get the whole, because some of these holes I have been waiting on for a long time. And then one of them was Dear Fahrenheit 451. I recently got checked out the physical copy from the library, and so I wanted to read along with it with the audiobook. So I was like, "Oh, I need this since I already have the book." It was just a whole thing. So I wound up reading that Amani at the Beach is what I decided to read to make to break the difference, and so I could return that and then check out Dear Fahrenheit 451. Now I will say I recently finished Fahrenheit 451, and a lot of people say that they've read that book in like ninth grade or like even eighth or 10th grade. And I'm sitting here like, I don't think I would have like grasped the concept of that book if I had read it that young. I'm so serious. Like I genuinely would not, even as a reader. I have been a reader for years, but I don't think I would have understood and comprehended the gravity and the importance of that book if I had read it that early in life. I'm so serious. Like I am glad that I read that in my 30s, and I can appreciate it at its fullest. Like I can appreciate it to its fullest. And I can also appreciate it as a person living in 2025. Like during what is currently going on. Like if I had read this when I was in like high school, I would have been like, yeah, I liked it, but it's whatever. But like after being active in politics and being a part of like the reading is resistance movement, the all that kind of stuff really deeply made me appreciate this book like 1,000% more than I would have when I was younger. I highly suggest that if you haven't read Fahrenheit 451, that you do. I am an audio girly. I love me an audiobook. And like if you haven't noticed, like I love listening to an audiobook while reading along with the physical one. I have dyslexia, and so just reading sometimes is a little hard. I get caught on words, and it comes sometimes frustrates me. And I have gotten to the point in my own life where it's like I can read for leisure, and it could take me however long I need to. But at the same time, I'm also I'm not doing it to reach my goal, because I could reach my goal with reading physical books, but I am my goal in life. It's just a life goal to read as many books as I can. And having dyslexia makes that dream a little bit hard. But when I couple my reading with audiobooks, with ebooks, with my Kindle, um, and with speak read to speak, I forget what the specific ones is called, but having the screen read to me, a screen reader, that's what it's called. That's the word. It has made that goal way more accessible for me, and it makes me very happy that I can finish a bunch of books. But Fahrenheit 451, I felt like I would have been doing the book a injustice if I had listened to the audiobook. And that's just a personal thing. If you want to listen to the audiobook, be my guest. Like, ain't nobody stopping you. I am always going to be rooting for audiobooks, audiobooks, audiobooks. But I personally felt like that it would have been, if I had listened to the audiobook version, it would have done the book kind of an injustice. So I actually sat down and I read that motherfucking book. Whole motherfucking book, cover to cover. Oh my goodness. It was so good. And the reason I finally picked it up is due to the fact of an entirely different fucking book. Uh, Read Dangerously. spoiled Fahrenheit 451 for me. It completely spoiled it. And I was like, God damn it. So I was like, fine, since I done got it spoiled, I might as well go on and read the shit. And then the next thing I look around my house because I was reorganizing my books because I'm trying to get like a little better system set up for myself of my reading. And also a goal for this year for me, my just personal goal is to try to finish as many books that to try to finish books that I have in my home already. And Lord and behold, my ass look down while I'm cleaning the damn bookshelf, and there is Fahrenheit 451 just sitting there. And I'm like, when the hell did this get in my house? When did this become a part of my collection? I have no idea. And I do that all the time. Hell, 10 is a part of my physical collection here at the house. I couldn't tell you when I got that book, how long I done had the damn book. I probably had it over a decade. And the reason that I finally picked it up is because I saw it on Instagram as a book that was like, I thought that it was promoting summer ween reads. 10 is not a summer ween, it is a winter ween book. But I thought it was promoting summer ween books, but it was just promoting slashers. And I saw the book cover on there, and I was like, why the fuck that book cover look familiar? So I went through my shelf, and I'm looking, and there it is. That's the reason that bitch look familiar, because it's in my house. Which lets you know that I do remember the covers, but I don't remember the titles of what's in my house. Like I remember the covers of the books. Which is also the thing that upsets me. If you don't know, if you are not an audiobook person, then you will not know this. But audiobooks and like physical books usually have two different book covers. And when I tell you that shit is upsetting, it needs to be the same damn cover. It needs to be the same damn cover. Because one is confusing. It's confusing as hell. And two, it's confusing. You know, that's the only problem that I have. It's confusing. It confuses me. Because sometimes I'll read something and I'll be like, I'll look for it on like Goodreads or something. And Goodreads or even Storygraph have the picture that's the cover that's on like the physical book. Or even they have like the movie cover, which I'm usually not a fan of. Uh, and then the audio version, if it's a thing of it's been turned into a movie, the the more recent cover of the book will be whatever the movie cover is, like a movie poster ish thing, and the audiobook will have the original art of the book, or they'll just be two different things in general. Like the Halloween tree, the physical copy, the physical book's cover is so beautiful and fun, while the audiobook one is like it's spooky, but like it loses its fucking whimsy. And I was like, why would they do this? Yeah, no, that's my rant about like book covers versus audiobooks. And then, are y'all a fan of when they turn the book covers? They basically use the poster of the movie to the book cover, because I usually don't like it. It is very rare, and I'm really sitting here trying to think about a book that they changed the cover to that I actually prefer the art, because I can't think of nothing. Cause I really deeply liked the OG Wicked cover. Like that was cute. And then now you got like the movie poster. That's the cover. Life of Pi. It's very neutral. That one is very neutral for me. Like I don't feel either one way or another about it. It does. It does what it's supposed to do. But like I don't know. I just don't. I just typically don't like it. But yeah, those are some of the ones that I have read since the passing of my dad. And I'm still reading Waiting to Exhale. I'm just physically reading that, and so it's gonna take me a while to get through. Uh, yeah. So thank y'all so much for listening. Again, if you want to support me and all my bookish rants, you can find all the links below to help me out. If you want to just have like some bookish conversations, be free to find me over on Instagram and YouTube and stuff where we can just be bookish together. Yeah. Thank y'all so much for listening and I hope you have a great rest of y'all day. Bye.